Welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we explore issues that are both fascinating and thought-provoking. We'll talk about North Korea in today's video, which is a significant and delicate subject, a mysterious country that frequently makes the news due to its distinctive political and social environment. We will look at 5 strong arguments for why dealing with North Korea should be avoided. Before we get started, we want to be clear that the goal of this video is to encourage understanding and offer a balanced viewpoint, not to feed into fear or prejudice. Let's examine the factors that make participating in confrontation or provocation with North Korea potentially dangerous. Being that North Korea has a sizable nuclear arsenal and cutting-edge missile capabilities, it is not a good idea to meddle with them. North Korea has advanced significantly in producing nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them over time. This represents a serious threat to the entire world community, as well as to neighboring nations. Since the 1950s, North Korea has placed a major emphasis on developing its nuclear program. International sanctions and condemnation of North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons have not stopped the government from making progress in this area. North Korea has made substantial progress in its nuclear program through a combination of study, testing, and technological improvements. North Korea's nuclear weapons program directly endangers its neighbors, especially South Korea and Japan. North Korea can attack large cities and population centers thanks to a range of ballistic missiles that can reach these nations. A nuclear attack's potential destruction is a frightening truth that cannot be disregarded. Additionally, North Korea's nuclear program and missile development have both advanced. The nation has carried out several missile tests, demonstrating its capacity to create and improve different missile systems. The range, precision, and payload capacity of North Korea's weapons have increased as its missile technology has advanced from short-range to intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The international community is very concerned about North Korea's development of ICBMs. These long-range missiles have the capability to travel far beyond their immediate surroundings, possibly even reaching the entire continental United States. This capacity has improved North Korea's standing in discussions of international security and raised tensions in the area. The nuclear arsenal and missiles capabilities of North Korea act as a deterrent to possible military intervention or invasion, as nuclear retaliation could have disastrous effects. The threat of it acts as a potent deterrent. Provocation or military action against North Korea might heighten tensions and set off a cataclysmic response that would have grave humanitarian and geopolitical repercussions. The nuclear and missile programs of North Korea must be understood to be a complicated matter requiring diplomatic and international efforts to resolve it. To limit North Korea's nuclear aspirations and accomplish disarmament, the international community has engaged in several dialogues and consultations with it. These initiatives underline the necessity for peaceful solutions and the awareness of the dangers posed by North Korea's nuclear weapons program. The second factor is the strategic relationships and North Korea's strong military force, which make working with the country cautious. North Korea has one of the biggest standing militaries in the world, despite its small size. The Korean People's Army, or KPA, which has about 1.2 million active members, is a serious threat. The KPA works as a political tool to maintain the regime's authority and further its ideology. North Korea is a strong opponent because of its fidelity to the regime and willingness to defend the country. To facilitate combined operations and quick reactions to possible threats, the KPA consists of ground troops, air and naval forces, special operations groups, and strategic missile units. Tanks, artillery, surface-to-air missiles, and other armaments are only a few of the conventional weapons that North Korea is equipped with. Its placement of long-range artillery close to the demilitarized zone puts Seoul, the capital of South Korea, within striking distance, acting as a powerful deterrent. Additionally, North Korea has made investments in asymmetric warfare tools, including special operations units and cyber warfare. North Korea can undermine communications, damage vital infrastructure, and conduct covert operations thanks to these novel strategies. The nation's emphasis on asymmetric warfare shows its dedication to using unorthodox measures to repel any aggression. Given North Korea's military prowess and geopolitical relationships, diplomacy and care are essential when dealing with the nation. Significant hazards come with military conflict, including casualties, destruction, and regional instability. Better chances for addressing issues and advancing stability in the region come from pursuing a conversation, developing diplomatic ties, and utilizing global institutions. The third reason is that North Korea has enormous economic problems and few possibilities, which add to the reasons why it should be approached with caution. The North Korean government has significant control over economic operations, and the country's economy is run under a system of central planning. North Korea's isolation from the outside economy is one of its biggest problems. Due to its nuclear weapons program and violations of human rights, the nation has been subject to international sanctions that severely limit its access to global banking, trade, and investment systems. These sanctions have slowed North Korea's economic expansion and made it more difficult for it to conduct international trade. North Korea's economy is centrally planned, which has led to inefficiencies, improper resource allocation, and a dearth of market-oriented reforms. Innovation, productivity, and total economic development are hampered by a lack of a competitive market environment and restricted economic liberties. As a result, North Korea finds it difficult to draw in foreign capital and lack the economic vitality found in many other nations. In North Korea, there are little economic prospects, which has resulted in a high level of poverty and a reliance on areas under government control. The bulk of the population struggles economically, has little access to essentials, and has little opportunity for advancement. Key sectors and resources are under governmental control, which stifles entrepreneurship and private sector growth. North Korean dictatorship over investments in fields that might promote economic expansion. The economy is now even more under stress, and the cycle of slow progress has been sustained by the diversion of resources to the military. Furthermore, it is difficult to evaluate the true state of North Korea's economy due to the absence of transparency and trustworthy data. Since the state strictly censors information, it is challenging for outsiders to understand the population's economic circumstances. Any contact with North Korea must consider the country's economic difficulties and restricted options. International sanctions, a centrally planned economy, and constrained economic freedoms together provide formidable obstacles to economic progress and development. When dealing with North Korea, it's critical to have a realistic grasp of both the country's economic limitations and any prospective trade restrictions. The dangers, ambiguities, and potential effects of sanctions must all be carefully considered before engaging in any business with or making an investment in North Korea. When dealing with North Korea, one must also consider its troubling record on human rights and lack of openness, which is our fourth reason. For its serious violations of human rights, including political repression, forced labor, and restrictions on the freedoms of expression, assembly, and information, the North Korean leadership has come under heavy fire. The terrible conditions and pervasive abuses in North Korea are described in horrifying detail in reports from international human rights organizations and defectors. The regime maintains a widespread climate of fear and surveillance while rigidly regulating and repressing dissent. These issues with human rights emphasize the necessity for care and prudence when dealing with the nation. Furthermore, it is difficult to comprehend and evaluate North Korea's internal issues honestly due to the country's lack of transparency. Information flow is strictly regulated by the system, which restricts access to trustworthy data and unbiased reporting. Due to this opacity, it is challenging to assess the country's true state, including its social problems, economic reality, and general well-being of its people. The regime's nuclear weapons program and its goals are also shrouded in secrecy. North Korea's willingness to give up its nuclear ambitions is still up for discussion and ambiguity despite international attempts to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. This ambiguity increases concerns about regional and global security and emphasizes the significance of diplomatic involvement and efforts to address these issues. Prioritizing human rights concerns and promoting greater openness are crucial when thinking about getting involved with North Korea. Engagement with the regime should focus on addressing violations of human rights, encouraging accountability, and fostering an atmosphere that upholds the dignity and fundamental rights of the North Korean people. Finally, when dealing with North Korea, it's critical to remember the importance of diplomatic and nonviolent alternatives. Open discussion and negotiations have historically resulted in advancement, as seen throughout specific epochs, with comparatively stable and cooperative conditions. A road to addressing issues, advancing peace, and enticing meaningful change within North Korea can be found in courteous and productive conversations supported by foreign organizations and diplomatic initiatives. Investigating nonviolent options is essential, along with safeguarding the safety of both North Korean individuals and the larger international community. In conclusion, there are a variety of factors to consider while deciding whether to tamper with North Korea. The North Korean nuclear program, the country's military prowess, its strategic connections, humanitarian concerns, potential economic disruptions, and the significance of diplomatic solutions all highlight the necessity for a calm and considered method to dealing with North Korea. To effectively solve the complicated issues relating to North Korea, it is crucial to give priority to communications, diplomacy, and international collaboration. We may contribute to a safer and more stable world by fostering understanding and looking for peaceful solutions. We really hope that this video has given you insightful information about the rationale for exercising caution when dealing with North Korea. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.